War is the harshest school, and its lessons wait for no one. Robert Greene distilled 3,000 years of campaigns, from Sun Tzu to Napoleon, into 33 strategies. They govern boardrooms as surely as battlefields. Learn them, because every struggle you will ever face is a war in miniature. And somewhere, someone is already using them on you. Strategy 1. Declare war on your enemies. An unnamed enemy poisons you slowly. A named one focuses everything. Stranded deep in Persia, Xenophon's 10,000 stopped hoping, named their enemy, and cut their way 1,000 miles home. Strategy 2. Do not fight the last war. France built the perfect defense against 1918, a wall of steel called the Maginot Line. In 1940, the Germans simply drove around it. The most dangerous general is the one still winning the previous war. Strategy 3. Amidst the turmoil of events, do not lose your presence of mind. At Trafalgar, Nelson paced his open deck through the broadsides, unhurried, exact. The fleet borrowed his calm and destroyed a larger enemy. Strategy 4. Create a sense of urgency and desperation. Fight on death ground. Cortés sank his own ships on the beach at Veracruz. 500 men, no way home. Conquer or die. They conquered. Strategy 5. Avoid the snares of groupthink. Command must be one. At Balaclava, a vague order passed through too many proud hands, and no one asked the obvious question. 600 rode straight into the guns. Strategy 6. Segment your forces. Napoleon shattered Europe's rigid armies with the corps system. 7 small armies, each able to march, think, and fight alone, converging like a closing hand. Fluid structure beats frozen order. Strategy 7. Transform your war into a crusade. A 17-year-old peasant girl gave a beaten France something no marshal could, belief. Orleans was relieved in 9 days. Morale is the one weapon that reloads itself. Strategy 8. Pick your battles with perfect economy. Themistocles refused the open sea, where Persia's numbers ruled, and gave battle only in the narrows of Salamis, where 1,000 ships counted for nothing. Choose ground that multiplies you. Strategy 9. Turn the tables, the counterattack. In Kinshasa, Ali lay on the ropes and let the hardest puncher alive empty himself for 7 rounds. In the 8th, Foreman fell. Absorb, wait, then strike the spent. Strategy 10. Create a threatening presence, deterrence. Roosevelt sent 16 white battleships around the world not to fight, but to be seen. The message needed no translation. The price of touching us is ruin. Strategy 11. Trade space for time. Russia gave Napoleon everything he wanted, miles, then Moscow itself, and let distance, hunger, and winter do the killing. Of 600,000 invaders, barely 1 in 10 marched home. Strategy 12. Lose battles, but win the war. Grand strategy. Washington lost New York, lost Philadelphia, lost battle after battle, and never lost the army or the object. Yorktown repaid every retreat. Strategy 13. Know your enemy. At Bletchley Park, codebreakers read the Reich's own orders as fast as its admirals did, and U-boat packs turned from hunters into targets. Fight the man, not the mask he shows you. Strategy 14. Overwhelm resistance with speed and suddenness. In 1940, German armor reached the Channel before French headquarters finished marking the map. A great power fell in 6 weeks, beaten less in space than in time. Strategy 15. Control the dynamic. Sherman cut loose from his own supply lines and marched where no army waited, forcing Georgia to react, and react, and react. An enemy kept answering, never attacks. Strategy 16. Hit them where it hurts. For 15 years Hannibal was unbeatable in Italy, so Scipio ignored him and sailed for Carthage itself. The undefeated general was recalled to defend home and lost everything at Zama. Strategy 17. Defeat them in detail. In his first campaign, Napoleon drove his small army between the Austrians and the Piedmontese and beat each alone, days apart. Divide the giant, and you never have to fight one. Strategy 18. Expose and attack your opponent's soft flank. At Inchon, MacArthur landed an army where the tide said none could land, deep behind the front. The line collapsed in 2 weeks. Frontal is fatal, oblique is lethal. Strategy 19. Envelop the enemy. At Cannae, Hannibal's thin center bent, his cavalry closed the ring, and a Roman army twice his size ceased to exist by sunset. 22 centuries later, generals still chase that circle. Strategy 20. Maneuver them into weakness, the ripening for the sickle. The Mongols' deadliest weapon was their own retreat, days of staged flight, until pursuit stretched thin and proud, then the wheel and the harvest. Strategy 21. Negotiate while advancing. Through 5 years of talks in Paris, Hanoi never paused the war it was discussing. Every offensive moved the terms. Diplomacy without leverage is begging in formal dress. Strategy 22. Know how to end things. In 1991, the coalition freed Kuwait and stopped at 100 hours. Object achieved, alliance intact, exit clean. The rarest discipline in war is the full stop. Strategy 23. Weave a seamless blend of fact and fiction. Inflatable tanks, phantom radio traffic, a fictitious army aimed at Calais, and the real invasion walked into Normandy while the panzers guarded a mirage. Strategy 24. Take the line of least expectation. Rome watched the sea, and Hannibal came over the Alps, elephants through the snow, appearing in Italy's garden with not one legion between him and the gates. Strategy 25. Occupy the moral high ground. Gandhi walked 200 miles to the sea and picked up a handful of salt, and made an empire's law look like theft. Against the righteous image, the club only wounds its owner. Strategy 26. Deny them targets, the strategy of the void. Lawrence's raiders blew the railways and dissolved into the desert. The Ottoman army garrisoned everything and gripped nothing. An enemy without a target defeats himself. Strategy 27. Seem to work for the interests of others while furthering your own. Cavour maneuvered France into fighting Austria for Italian liberty, then quietly pocketed the peninsula. The best wars are fought with borrowed armies. Strategy 28. Give your rivals enough rope to hang themselves. Lincoln resupplied Fort Sumter with bread, not guns, and let his enemies choose to fire the first shot. It cost him nothing and cost them the moral war. Strategy 29. Take small bites, the fait accompli. Frederick marched into Silesia without declaring anything, fortified it, then offered to negotiate over what he already held. In war, possession is not 9/10 of the law. It is the law. Strategy 30. Penetrate their minds. Communication is war. In 1940, Britain's best armor was rhetoric. Churchill's broadcasts turned a beaten island into a fortress of will, and the will held until the weapons caught up. Strategy 31. Destroy from within. The story goes that 10 years of siege broke against Troy's walls, and one hollow wooden gift ended it in a night. Every fortress trusts something. Become the thing it trusts. Strategy 32. Dominate while seeming to submit. Occupied France's railwaymen obeyed every order, slowly, precisely, wrongly. Trains crawled, timetables dissolved, and no one could name the crime. Perfect obedience became sabotage. Strategy 33. Sow uncertainty and panic, the chain reaction of fear. The Mongols razed the first city that resisted, so the next 10 opened their gates unfought. Terror, coldly rationed, replaced 100 sieges. Fear rides faster than horsemen. And then the book went live. February 28, 2026. The United States and Israel opened war on Iran. Operation Epic Fury. 500 targets and 1,200 bombs in a single day. The internet cut, and Iran's supreme leader killed in the opening strikes. On paper, it should have ended within a week. Iran stood on death ground and turned the tables. Operation True Promise 4 sent drones and ballistic missiles through the Shield, Tel Aviv and Haifa, then the American web itself, Al Udeid, Kuwait, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Riyadh. Strategy 9, Strategy 16, absorb the blow, then make the attacker's entire empire the battlefield. Then Iran played the card no arsenal could answer. It closed the Strait of Hormuz. A fifth of the world's oil stopped at one narrow gate. 150 ships stalled. Prices soaring. Allies buckling. Analysts called the strait a weapon of mass disruption, handed to Iran by its own attackers. Hit them where it hurts. The price was staggering. Thousands of dead, Natanz shattered, Kharg Island in flames. But Strategy 12 is the oldest one. Lose battles, win the war. Iran named a new leader within days, kept firing to the final night, and never reopened the strait on Washington's terms. The knockout blow simply never came. April brought a truce brokered by Pakistan, then a 14-point memorandum with Washington. In June, Israeli pollsters asked who had won the war their own country began. 92% answered, Iran. American commentators called it a total defeat, a watershed of empire. Iran had faced the two most advanced militaries on Earth and broken out of its box. In war, the weaker side wins by refusing to lose. 33 strategies. 3,000 years of proof, ending in the Persian Gulf in 2026. The weapons change, the grammar of war does not. Study it as armor. Study it as a weapon. But study it, because the next war is already being planned.